Okay.
In the meantime, by way of introduction, one more time, I'm Mike Johnson, WO9B. I'm located in New Berlin, Wisconsin, a suburb of Milwaukee, and a dues-paying member of the West Dallas Radio Amateur Club. And I want to thank you guys for inviting me in, taking me up on our offer to do a presentation. And I think that's just great. I'm stumbling here, so I'm just going to see if I can share my screen and kick the presentation off. Yes, I can. Hang on. And I've done this a number of times, but I remain fumble fingered about it regardless. Okay, can everybody see that screen? Is that should be the work logo, if you will. So I'm guessing everybody can hear me. That's a yes. Okay. Okay, the presentation takes, I don't know, 25 minutes, 30 minutes tops. It's a real, I plan to conduct it very informally. If you have a question along the way, speak up. I can't see everybody, so waving your hand might not get my attention, but definitely speak up and whatnot. I was wondering, I don't know that much about Mara, so, and I don't know if the involvement with everybody in the Wisconsin QSO party. Paul or Matt, could you give me just are you guys have a club effort in the QSO party year after year, or is this kind of just something new or something you guys are trying out or pushing for this year?
We just thought it would be good to get more people into your contest. We really don't. As a club, we don't participate in the QSO party.
Okay.
See how this all started was because Flark was going to. I thought Flark wasn't going to have you as a presenter at their meeting, so that's why I contacted you to see if you do a presentation, for Mara, because since I thought that Flark wasn't going to do it, and they ended up doing it anyway, and so so that's how we got a hold of it because I got an email through Flark that you're going to looking for people for clubs to have your presentation, and we thought it'd be good if you did to get more people involved in it. Matthew here, I participate in the contest every year, and that's a really fun event. And
great.
And Mike, just to add a little bit to that too, is that yes, the main participants has been the Flark, the Four Lakes Amateur Radio Club has been the ones that have really pushed on this. But the other thing, as we talked about it, is that because we are the repeater association, and if you look at the bylaws, we focus on VHF and UHF, and it seems to us that the Wisconsin QSO party is a perfect place for people that have got those capabilities, technicians, at all, to kind of get their feet wet. So that adds to our mission.
Yeah, the reason I was asking is I was trying to it helps me to focus the presentation a little bit to keep it on point for you guys. As you know, the QSO party is primarily a HF type event. But we also have the distinction of having the VHF and UHF component. So I was just kind of wondering where you guys stood. There are some clubs I've presented to that are, gung-ho contest type clubs, etc. And, they can't wait to fill up the afternoon on 40 meters. And that's one aspect. So very good. Well, let me jump in and get this thing kind of off and running a little bit. As I mentioned, I'm with the West Dallas Club. It occurs to me that a lot of you have heard of the Wisconsin QSO party, but you've probably never met anybody that's actually a face behind the scene that is the QSO party. So here you go. To us in the West Dallas Club, it's Chuck and Tom, and so we're kind of tired of seeing each other, but very good. But as I mentioned, the big deal tonight and the topic of discussion is indeed the 2021 Wisconsin QSO party. And that is just around the corner, literally a few days from now. It's this coming Sunday, the 14th, which happens to be Pi Day for those that keep track of such things. And it also happens to be the very first day of daylight savings. So don't be late. Don't get screwed up on that. The contest runs on Sunday from 1 p.m. To 8 p.m. And it's 7 hours of fun. And the main goal is indeed to have fun with the contest. We are doing these outreaches, if you will, to the various clubs this year as our attempt to see if we can gin up some excitement and some participation from people that might not participate otherwise. And I am here to tell you any effort that you make in participating in the QSO party is appreciated. And I'm not just saying that. We really do. We at the QSO party count the success of the contest, not in who wins the plaques and who wins the trophies and that sort of thing, but we count the number of log entries that we receive. So even if you get on and generate 5 QSOs, we want to hear from you. So we send it in, and we're thrilled to get it. The anecdote to that is last year we actually received a 0 entry from a guy who just wanted to keep his streak going. So we appreciated that very much. Let me give you just a little background on the QSO party to get you familiar with it for those that aren't, and reacquaint those that are. It is a Wisconsin-focused event aimed primarily at Wisconsin hams, and we at the QSO party have maintained that focus arduously. So this is the time for Wisconsin hams to get on the air and frankly have some fun. People want to talk to you, and so you're the DX, the rare DX on Sunday afternoon, and that's frankly the way we like it. We have a restricted, and by comparison to some QSO parties, a very restricted awards and certificate program, and we've done that pretty much on purpose because we want those awards to have some meaning. If you earn a certificate or a plaque, you have indeed earned it. You didn't just show up and catch one that way. So that's been our focus throughout the years. This is about the 60th year of the party, give or take. The origins are a little shady. We're not really sure all that much. What we do know for sure is the West Dallas Club has stewarded the party since 1979. So that puts us 42 years in the driver's seat. And we've there's been several regimes throughout those years, and the current regime has been in place for about 10 years or so. I mentioned the contest has remained relatively unchanged. So if you participated in a past life and haven't checked in a while, I think you'll find that it's very much the same friendly event with the easy contest exchange that you remember. And we've kind of maintained what I refer to as the Major League Baseball approach. We want everybody's records and efforts to remain meaningful, so we don't change things up and offer crazy ways to score points and do all sorts of gizmo stuff. That is just not us, and that's not what we've done. Having said that, we did add finally a bonus station in 2018, and I believe I'll be one of the bonus station operators this year. So if you work CW, there's a good chance we may catch a QSO. We have the honor, I refer to it as, of being one of the shortest QSO parties in the nation. At 7 hours, it's literally an afternoon. It's a quick event. So it's not one of those 48-hour grinds and oh my God, they're still on types of events. The time goes by very, very quickly. So it makes for a fun, exciting afternoon of activity. And I was gonna say the other thing that distinguishes the Wisconsin QSO party is frankly the number of portable and rover and that type of station that frankly gets on and activates counties that otherwise would not have any ham activity whatsoever. Typically, we see a disproportionate share of mobile operations relative to the size of our event. And we're frankly very, very proud of it. And it's just been that way. And I honestly can't say why. I don't know. I think the 7 hours has a lot to do with it, just because it's a short event. And frankly, I run mobile typically, and 7 hours in the back of a car working CW is about 2 hours beyond my normal limit. So there you go. To give you a little clue on how we do the QSO party, which, you know, the backroom operation, if you will. There's only 4 of us at the West Dallas Club that work on the QSO party. Chuck Dellis, W9WLX, is the new chairman of the event this year, and so he's in the driver's seat, and he takes the cat of nine tails and makes us do our thing. Tom Macon, K9BTQ, has been the chairman for almost 15, almost 20 years. He's finally decided to pass the baton. But Tom is the guy that does the magic behind the scenes of doing all the log analysis and doing the scoring and keeping the website up to date, so to speak. And truly, the man behind the scenes that we don't let out for air very often is Howard Smith, WA9AXQ, and his job is to take all of those logs that come in and get them dumped into the computer, no matter what that means. And some years Howard is doing a fair amount of typing and doing manual entry, but as the computerized scorings has become somewhat ubiquitous, Howard's not having to do that much anymore in that regards. And then I kind of round out the last group, and I'm basically involved in publicity. As of this Wednesday, which is the last published or scheduled event for a presentation, my QSO party is pretty much done, except for counting dits and das on Sunday afternoon. So that's it. That literally is the group behind the scenes that makes this thing happen. Getting into 2021, and I'll run through this, and I'll do it somewhat quickly, both this and the rules and whatnot, and you can ask questions or study up the rules in depth a little bit. But for 2021, we set a record last year at 446 logs received. The old record, interestingly enough, was and you can see the entries here. This for 2020, it wasn't just a record, it was a heck of a record. It blew out the previous year by over 100 logs received. However, the one thing I want to point out is the numbers are divided. Blue is in-state and green is out-of-state. And so what we really saw was a huge influx of out-of-state entries. And we think that was due primarily to what's called the state QSO party competition, which is a year-long event that you can read about. If you go to their website, it's a really nice event, and people are you can get some nice awards and whatnot that way. But what I was going to mention here, the interesting part is the relatively steady state of that blue line. And that's really what I'm here to affect tonight, to get you guys to jump in and submit a log into the event this year. We've been hovering at or about 150 QSO or log entries from in-state, and we'd like to beat the tar out of that. We'd like to see a big increase in-state participation. So, and that's on you. So I'm here to ask for your log entry. So take that for what it's worth. I was going to say the other couple things that are affecting us in more than just contest ways is COVID has an effect. And we saw last year where the number of mobile stations and whatnot dropped way off by about 25%. We normally see somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 mobiles, and last year there was only 14. We also see a bit of a hit in the multi-op and multi-categories, where clubs get together and do a big event type of thing, or friends get together and do an event type of thing. So that was clearly off the table last year. And so there you have it. One bright shining spot, when this one's aimed directly at you guys, is the VHF UHF participation. We've seen some excitement and some growth in that in the past couple years. There appears to be a couple of hot spots in Wisconsin, and frankly, for the most part, there's a very excitable group up in Green Bay and Appleton. And if ever there was a hotspot for VHF and UHF, for I don't know what the reason is, they owned this category last year, and they're on track to do it again this year. Or so they say. I'll put it that way. So I'm here underscoring that a little bit, saying, and I'm wondering why we don't see a more concerted VHF activity, and frankly, in the Dane County area and in the Milwaukee County area. So we think there's some real room for growth. There's some real opportunity, but someone needs to grab the bull by the horns and make that happen. And I'm not quite sure how to do that. So I'm going to begin by saying, hey, there's some room for growth there. So get on it, and that should be right up Mara's alley, so to speak. The rules for 2021, you can check out the rules in depth on our webpage. We keep the rule page is one page. We try not to muck with it very much. And for 2021, we didn't change a comma or a period from last year. And we hardly changed anything from the year before. So if you're familiar with the contest procedure, it's primarily a phone and CW contest. We do have quote unquote digital, but that's kind of an old school digital. We've got no FT8 or FT4 again this year. It's not that we don't want it, but it's just that the format of that communication doesn't support the exchange. So it's a problem. And so once again, another year goes by with no FT8, FT4. We got a lot of categories for you to enter, from single op to single op mobile to multi-op mobile. Again, it's what you can do and what you can put together. Of course, as with all QSO parties, there's a big dividing line between in-state and out-of-state. If you're using an in-state, your exchange is your county. And so all you give is your county. We don't even require a signal report. And out of state, it's your state or country, your DX. As I mentioned in the beginning, we're primarily an HF operation, but we're one of the very few state QSO parties that does tip its hat to the VHF UHF world. And again, we think that's a feature of Wisconsin. So we very much want that to grow. I'll let you figure out how to score the thing. I heartily recommend a logging program. That'll take care of all that happy business. There are some strategies associated with scoring between CW and phone, if you will, and some pluses and minuses for each. I do primarily CW because I'm enamored of the higher points associated with a CW score. But that's a choice, and there's a lot of folks that only do phone. And I want to point out the main event and the main draw of the QSO party is not your final score. It's frankly, did I have a good time? And that's differentiates the winners from the losers in my mind. Excuse me. I've alluded to awards a couple times. We do have, we give out, I believe, 6 plaques. And 5 of those plaques are aimed dead on at Wisconsin operators. And one is specifically for a non-Wisconsin operator. And I'm not going to kid you, these are not easy to get. But if you put in the effort and get a plaque, they're really, really nice, and they are well worth getting, but they're not going to fall off the back of the turnip truck, that's for sure. Last year, to put the hedge on it, these are the scores from last year that were required to make it all happen, so to speak. So these are big efforts, and Chad, our single op champion, for about the last 5 years or so. We're hoping he has a power outage or something so we can get a different name up there. But Chad's a really good guy, but he's also one heck of an operator. So I participated in the last few years in the mobile, and I got close one year, but I didn't get close to this guy. So he's going to be a tough guy to beat out. He sets and he's having a good time. They do it with a group of people and whatnot. So that's basically it for the wood. However, we're a little more lenient with giving out certificates, and those are imminently doable, but you're going to have to put in an effort. You're not going to get one just by showing up. And I say that with one exception. We do have a category called the rookie category down here at the bottom. And if you're a rookie, and that doesn't mean you're a new ham. That means you're new to the QSO party. If you've never entered the QSO party, for your first 2 years, you can enter as a rookie. And you're just competing against other rookies. And here, if I point this out, the rookie category. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't get boo, bad me. You don't get a plaque, but the rookie category is a little easier to win. But and by the way, everybody in the rookie category gets a certificate. So that one we kind of that eye candy we kind of gave up on. So. But there you go. So lots to do, lots of opportunities for you to find your home in the QSO party. Oops. Oh, I got to click on the right thing to get it to move. For your help and in entering, there's a number of resources that we make available. They're all through our website. I strongly suggest that everybody take a look at the website and look at least a couple of them. First and foremost is read the last year's write-up of the event. You'll find not just scores being reported, but there's some strategy and what happened and how the bands were and some very, very helpful information. Plus, you can get a chance to see how these other guys did and what they did to win, so to speak. And it's very, very helpful, well written, and we're actually very proud of that little report every year. Next up, of course, is the county map and abbreviation list. I urge you to pick that up if you're not familiar with it, and just do a quick download. Some of them are make sense, and there's a few that don't. And the Waukesha, Wausau, that's those sort of stuff. Things get a little bit tricky, so familiarize yourself with that. That's a helpful download. There is, and I've made light mention of the mobiles, but there's also a readout of the mobile stations will submit their planned travel so that you can have a clue as to what counties that they're planning to activate. Those are starting to come in now. Actually, they've been coming in for about the last week. And so the mobiles tend to keep their plan closely held until the last minute. So between now and Sunday, that part of the website will just blow up, and just every day someone will be dropping their plans, making them public. So it's a great way to keep track of what counties they're going to, and in some cases when they're going to them. It's a little by guess and by golly, but it's very helpful nonetheless. If you're thinking about doing a mobile operation, and if you are thinking about doing it, it's a great time. I fully support it. There is a couple links to help you that give you some clues as to how to plan your trip. And there are some Google Map resources that you should be aware of. Google Maps that have county overlays and whatnot, that becomes frankly very helpful in figuring out how to go from point A to point B. I'll point out that the top mobile operators in that 7-hour period of time will run 15 to 18 counties. So if you do the math on that means they're zipping in and out of counties at about an average of 15 to 20 minutes per county. So they're moving right along, and you don't want to be wasting a lot of time. And so the route planning is a big deal. If you're interested in a deep dive analysis of the statistics behind a QSO party, we provide that report, and it's hidden behind the scenes. It's hidden in this little thing that's called Activate All 72 Counties, and there are 72 counties in Wisconsin. But if you click on that, you get to another page, and then you'll find a URL. And eventually you'll find that if you click on it, you'll bring up this Excel spreadsheet, and this is the labor of Tom K9BTQ, who is an engineer and has designed a report that an engineer would indeed be in love with. It is a complete QSO by QSO globe detail by county of mobile and fixed operations for every year for the last since 2013, plus some aggregates. So if you want to go work in that rare county, you got to go find this. This report will tell you what counties need some help and need some visitors in. And I won't go into that any more than that. I use the report. It's a great report. The last thing I want to point out is you'll also find some assists and some recommendations for computer logging. The two main logging systems are the N1MM Plus log, which is a free download. It's the contester's choice. If you're not familiar with it, I would tell you between now and the contest, you do not have time to get comfortable with that program. It's got a very, very steep learning curve associated with it. The second most popular program is the N3 FJP program. That is not a free program, but it doesn't cost very much, but it has the benefit of being very user friendly. And I'm not selling their programs, but if you're looking for one, that's a good one. And there's a bunch of other ones out there that you can skip around on, GenLog and that sort of program. If you're using N1MM and you know what that's about, we do have uploaded to N1MM this year a call history file that you could load into your program. I won't go into the details on that, but if you're an avid contester, that's a nice little perk. It assists you in filling in your contest information and doing your logging. Basically, at this point, we're now talking, we're at the point where we talk about how you actually do the contest. I can spend a lot of time here or not. I want to say the first and foremost aspect is, and I made a point of this, is to be safe and have fun. So that's really a big deal. If you're thinking about joining for the first time, you're probably better off, going out, from your home shack. If your home shack consists of a dipole and 100 watts, you are situated perfectly for the Wisconsin QSO party. That is exactly the right kind of rig that you'll have really, really good success with. If you're thinking about doing a mobile operation, I'm here to tell you it's almost so much fun it shouldn't be legal, but that's my concerted sidebar opinion. But it is a great time, and I look forward to it every year. And I'm very sad that due to the COVID, we're not going this year. We're not going. So it's kind of a little downer for me. I was going to mention to give you just a couple ideas on some strategies for operating, and for the most part, the contest in HF primarily takes place on 3 bands, on 20, 40, and 80. I'm going to click the next slide. I'll come back to this one. But if you're looking to participate, the bands you want to be in are those that I just said. And what this graph is showing is the activity by number of QSOs in the various bands. Now there's a lot of bands listed, and unfortunately most of the slivers are too small to see. But if you will, 80 meters is the big band, and that's followed by 40 and then by 20. And this is a phenomena that goes back to 2017, when we started to encounter what we believe is the sunspot minimum phenomena. Prior to that, and as everybody remembers the contest, the big bands were 40 meters was ruled the roost. That was the king band. So if you wanted to get on, 40 meters was the place to go. And the second band, frankly, was 20 meters. That was the second place to go. And 80 meters, everybody tuned in very late in the contest. So at 5 o'clock, maybe you'd get down to 80 meters. And in the past 3 or 4 years, that has not proven to be the case. And in fact, one of the strategies, and I point this out, in that what this chart is showing, one of the strategies is to get multipliers in the contest. And by God, Wisconsin counties count for more multipliers than states and provinces do at 72. And so you want to work Wisconsin counties. And what this graph is showing is that since 2017, 85 to 90% of Wisconsin to Wisconsin QSOs happen on 80 meters. And that is the opposite of what we saw traditionally, where 40 meters was the backbone supplying the in-state QSOs. And I point that out. So if you want to have good success in the contest, the way to maximize that is to focus on the bands that will get you there. And that, quite frankly, is 80 number one, and 40 number two. So put 80 meters on the list, and the phrase is go to 80 early. And by go to 80 early, I literally mean, if you don't have an 80 meter QSO by 3 p.m., you got to go get one. So that's kind of the deal. The other thing I want to point out is you really want to focus and work on the mobiles. Now, there's the catch in that is that most of the mobiles operate only CW. There are some that operate phone, but for the most part, they're only operating CW. Secondly, as from the previous chart, guess what? You're going to catch most of them only on 80 meters. So 80 meters CW is where you're going to go find the mobiles. And I just a couple of strategy points to throw at you. Any questions on any of that? Is that getting in anybody's gears at all? Or okay. Well, this is about the end of my presentation. I want to tell you that come to our website, warac.org, and that'll get you to the Wisconsin QSO party page. It's a little late, but on the QSO party page, there's a URL that you can sign up for our email reflector. You will only get spammed between now and the end of about this time next week, and then it goes strangely quiet for the rest of the year. So it's not something that you're going to fill your inbox on, but you will catch some of the banter going back and forth, specifically this week between the various participants, and a chance to ask a question and whatnot. We at the QSO party monitor the email reflector very much, and so if you have a question, comment, or whatnot, that's a great way to get it in front of us. And so it's we're on it, so to speak. It's a great way to get hold of us. To close things out, logs are due in 2 weeks. So you only have 2 weeks after the party. So March 28th. And you email those in, and it's the traditional Cabrillo file format is the preferred mode. That brings me to the end of the show. So that's all we've got. My timer says I've done 35 minutes. So I'm just about on time here, just about where I want to be. I want to thank Mara for inviting me into your club meeting tonight. I appreciate it so much. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and pop back to real life again. So again, thank you all very, very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate your patience. And if I can answer any questions, get you to somehow enter the contest this year, I am all in on that idea.
I had a question for, in the logging programs, do they, like, does the multiplier, count the multiplier for the club call for the W9FK?
Yes, it does. Here's the deal. Don't worry so much about your logging programs and your scoring. Every log that gets submitted automatically gets rescored.
Okay,
And so we don't care what score you claim. We're gonna assign your score. And and the reason for that is most contests do that as just as a matter of course, because not all logging programs handle all the little multipliers and stuff quite correctly. So don't even fret that. That is not a concern. Everything gets rescored. So you'll know pretty much where you're at, but we'll rescore it again. And that's the score that we use in the final standings.
okay, yeah, except I didn't know that when it talked about, adding your score up and add the bonus points, I didn't know if the logging programs did that, and so, okay.
Well, if you're going to work, the bonus points are pretty cool, actually. And this year, we'll have one station on CW, me, and then we'll have another station who'll be on sideband. So W9FK will be represented in both of those. So, and the way it works is you get 100 points per band per mode. So, in all reality, we'll probably work 20, 40, and 80 meters for sure. And so then in state, you really don't have much shot at 20 meters unless you live next door to me. but and you don't. But but you could easily get you could easily get 200 points by working CW and phone on 80 meters and picking up the bonus station that way.
I know, yeah. It seems like every year I get the bonus station. Either they contact me or I contact them. So yeah, I usually get the bonus station every year. So that's
okay.
Right.
So yeah, the guy that's working the bonus station this year is going to be working out of his house, so he'll be in Waukesha County. Just so you know.
Okay. Actually, it seemed like it was, it seemed like they find me or I find them. So yeah, I try to, that's one of the things I like to try to go for is the club call.
Well, and I haven't worked phone in years, so I only work CW. So I never get the bonus station. Such is life. So this year since I'm not going mobile, I'm going to be a bonus station. So I'll get to see what life as the bonus station is all about. It could be fun. Could be interesting. So, great. Anything else? Any other questions? Well, super. Well, guys, I want to thank you again. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your attention. You've been excellent hosts, and by gosh, I'll look for you in the contest. Look for me, but I'll be on CW. So bring it.
Okay, yeah, it was nice that you're doing this for the different clubs because to get more participants, and yeah, it was nice that you were able to do it for us.
Well, yeah, and it's if you're looking to put a silver lining on COVID and clubs doing Zoom, this got me on the road. I no way would I be making club meetings like this. That's not going to happen. So this has worked out really well for us, and we thought we'd try to take advantage of it.
Oh yeah, I know it. So some guys are either out of state or they can't. This is a good way to do it.
Exactly. Well, good. Well, if there's nothing else, I'm going to sign out of your meeting and let you guys go about your normal meeting, and you don't have to have your Sunday best manners on now. You can you can talk. I love the donuts, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation here to the club.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Excellent. Well, thanks, guys, very much. Have a good one and a nice meeting you all.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye now.
Bye.